Alright guys, welcome back to Cal the Cook, and today I'm going to do a nice beef nail pie. So what I've got a kilo of Shin beef. It's my favourite cut. That's going to be beautiful. I've got 3 celery sticks, 3 carrots, an onion and a bottle of my favourite ale. Let's get into this. So what I've done is I've diced my carrot, onion and celery up, and now I'm just going to cut my beef now. Alright, so what I've got here is a kilo of Shin beef, and look at that, it's stunning. I love Shin beef, it just falls apart when you cook it correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it into more manageable chunks. I want to keep them quite chunky, so I don't want to go too small. Alright, so I've finished cutting my Shin beef. It looks stunning, doesn't it? Alright, I'm going to move on to the next part now. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to brown the meat off. So what I'm looking to do is, I'm looking to get a nice caramelisation on this beef shin. And then I'll add the veg then, after I've browned off the meat. Alright, so after I've browned my beef pieces, I'll touch more oil to the pan, and add my veg. I'm just going to fry these until softened. The smell of this is absolutely stunning. Alright, so now my veg is softened. I'm going to deglaze it now with a bottle of my finest ale. I'm not sure that in here. I'm using Doom Bar, it's one of my personal favourites. Now I'm just going to let the alcohol cook off that now, and then I'll add my stock. Right, so I've let that reduce down, deglazed the bottom of the pan. Now I'm going to add my beef stock. I've got about 700ml going in here. Launch that in. And then I'll add 2 bay leaves. And I'll add a teaspoon of dried rosemary. So as you can see, I've added my rosemary, bay leaves. I'm just going to add a splash of Worcestershire sauce. I like my Worcester, so I'll add a good splash of that. And then I'll add a cornflour paste mix to help it thicken up. So I've added back my beef pieces now. I'm just going to check it for seasoning. Needs a bit of salt and pepper. And then what I'm going to do then is chuck it in the oven for 4 hours at 160 degrees. Right, so whilst that's cooking in the oven, I'm going to make the paste now. So I've got 500 grams of plain flour, 125 grams of lard and 125 grams of butter. Alright, so basically you want to work it with your hands until it goes like breadcrumbs. Alright, so after you've mixed all that together, it should resemble like a breadcrumb. So now we're going to have to bind this together now with cold water. Alright, so what I like to do is get a knife, make a well, and add the water slowly. And then bring it together with your knife. And you want to keep doing this until it forms like a ball and you can handle it. Alright. So that's what you're looking for. It didn't take a lot of water. You always got to feel it with your hand so you know what texture is at and all that, and then you can judge then when it's ready. So now all I'm going to do now is I'm going to flour a surface and knead it. So you just want to bring it together. Give it a nice knead. Get all the glutens working. So that's the end result of my pastry, and that's how easy it is to make shortcrust pastry. Nice and smooth now. So I'm going to wrap that in cling film now and let it chill in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. Right, so I've just pulled it out of the oven now. So after 4 hours, she's cooked beautifully. And just look how tender that meat is, it just falls apart. So now what I'm going to have to do now is let this cool down, and then I'll start making the pies. Right, so the pie mix is cool now, so now I'm going to roll out my dough and use this as my pie dish. I don't want to roll it too thin, so here we go. So I've rolled out my dough now and I've placed it in the pie dish. I've filled it. Now I'm going to just put the top on it now. So I'm just going to egg wash the sides to help the top stick. this on the top and push down. And what I like to do is I like to just press down the sides with a fork, just to crimp it. Yeah, so once you crimped it, you want to put some holes, and then you want to just egg wash it. And once you've egg washed it, what I like to do is just season the top with some sea salt. So now I'll put that in the oven now at 180 degrees for about 20 minutes. So after about 25 minutes they're ready. Just let them cool now and I'll plate them up. Looking really good though, don't they? Look at that, stunning. So let's dig into it. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. That looks like gravy in there. So that's my shin beef and ale pie. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you again.